There's so many amazing varieties of dwarf plants. It's a big deal in the landscape, the nursery world. It's
Truly
a really big deal.
Hey, how are you? My name's Art.
I'm Kendahl.
And we're here to talk about
Plants.
some little tiny plants.
Very wee ones.
Yeah.
They do exist.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Let's look at some photos first.
Okay. I was driving down the road. This made me smile. I had to stop, pull over. It's a crepe myrtle tree, and of course crepe myrtles tend to send out suckers.
Right, they sure do.
So what did they do to the suckers?
They just pruned them like a shrub. Not just there, but on down the line.
The whole way. Like they planted shrubs at the base of all the crepe myrtle trees. How convenient.
That's ridiculous.
Is that fantastic? That was this morning. I couldn't.
That's ridiculous.
Oh.
This comes from a good friend and customer, Bennett Twyford.
Yes, and it's absolutely beautiful. Just what a beautiful professional job. So this was built, they had a customer that had a granddaughter. This was a gift for the granddaughter. And they went all out. Isn't that incredible?
And this is one of the last projects that Bennett did before his dad passed away. They did it together.
They did it together. And it's just so well done. But look at all the petite little dwarf plants in there. It's amazing. Isn't that fantastic? I'm just picturing the look on her face when she saw those. Just so pretty.
What a play set.
Isn't that fantastic? Running water in the fountain. Isn't that amazing? And look at those little plants. And they chose dwarf varieties.
Well, I wonder what they look like now.
You do wonder.
You just replant.
You do. Isn't that sweet? It's just, and it all functions. It's functioning water wheel. Isn't that amazing? Very intricate.
It makes your mind go into all kinds of what stories are taking place.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Now this is not dwarf.
This is not dwarf. This was a total...
Did you take this today?
This was a total surprise. This was a total surprise. I've had this Deslyrion in my yard for years.
That's not your yard.
That is my yard.
Really?
Yes. So I've had that for many years, and just last week, I was back on the driveway, and there it was. There was about a 4 foot. It was about 4 foot last week, and it just keeps growing, Art. It just keeps going. Is that amazing?
That is truly remarkable.
Yeah, apparently it takes it years to bloom, and this was his time. This was his year. He decided to do it. He went for it. Isn't that fantastic?
Your husband take the picture?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yes.
Not quite as impressive.
No, this is fun. So
it's a flagpole holder.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
For Belgium and Thailand or something.
I'm not sure what else to say about that. I think this speaks well of.
Moving on.
Okay. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the deer?
This is in your yard as well.
Yeah, that's a brand new cactus.
So you know that is deer.
It was just planted, and it looks like they just took little. You can see the little mouth. They just came along and said, let's have a little nibble here.
Like a little ice cream sandwich it was eating on.
Cactus with thorns.
So super thanks to Bennett.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you very much.
Mr. Twyford.
Yep, and I have promised him a t-shirt, so it's...
Let's look at one.
It's coming along to him.
Which one are you going to send him? Something like this maybe?
Oh, yeah, I think he'll like that very much. Very nice. So please send us your photographs. We'd love to hear from you. Love to see what you guys see out there in the world, because boy, I can just drive down the street and have a ball. It's just
absolutely
just keep stopping. Look at that. That's amazing.
Let's look at a plant film.
Let's do.
Keeping things short.
Okay.
The theme is dwarf.
Perfect.
So we got a plant film, but it's also a pop culture film.
Okay.
Because this guy loaded up this video, and it is 18 minutes long. He's only made 2 videos.
Okay.
One's 18 minutes, the other's 25. One he released in January has almost 5 million views.
Oh,
One that he released just about a month or 2 ago, more like 1 million views.
Oh my goodness.
And the name is Bonsai Relief, I think is the name of the channel. Okay. We'll put the links in the description and at the end of the video.
Good.
These are the most artful films I've seen from plant people. Like, it's amazing.
Oh, wow.
He goes into such detail.
Wow. Look at that.
Meticulous. Starts off by pulling weeds. It's like you can just watch. I mean, it's pretty cool.
This is amazing. Oh.
I don't do this justice. I have to cut in and out.
Ooh.
And I'm just showing you a brief glimpse. I can't stress. There's all kinds of things I show you that I say, oh, you should go watch this. This is one. I truly mean it. Like, I mean it all the time, but this one especially. Because he makes a sketch, a drawing of everything that he's going to do. He goes into such detail of sculpting it, really.
Wow.
And then he gets into where he's wiring it together. It's a really artfully done way of instruction.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So then we skip to the end.
Okay.
I think this is the very end.
I'm hooked. That's amazing.
He's got 2 films out so far.
Oh my goodness. Stunning.
Amazing, right?
I love it.
Super big fan of this guy. I want to be friends.
Absolutely.
I'm not that much into bonsai.
But I learned so much, and I'm intrigued. I mean, I want to see this whole thing, and
absolutely watch it.
Love it.
If you see things like that, I desperately want to know about it.
Oh yeah, that man.
Also, how do I get in touch with him? That's a really frustrating thing for me. Because we make films, but we also have a website. My personal email, I think, is on our website.
Okay.
You can find us. There's someone, if you follow the crumbs,
yes,
you can find out who actually did this. But a lot of YouTube, it's there on YouTube, you can't find. They use a name like Bucky Barnes, which is a superhero that was friends with Captain America.
Okay.
I don't know how to get in touch with the guy. But I guess that's a problem because he's got 5 million views, you know, so he doesn't want to be touched by everybody. But
that was
awesome.
Incredible.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm just,
love it.
It was like hypnotizing, just fantastic.
Now hypnotize me with something to go on the wall.
You got it. I will hypnotize you. So this week,
hypnotize me, more like gag me.
Art, you know, sir, bone meal. It's a great source of calcium and phosphorus. Great to extend our blooming season, more flowers. It's just a simple thing to do. Add a few handfuls and we'll get a few more flowers on our plants to enjoy them. Bulbs like them. I like bone meal. It's a good product. What do you think, sir? We adding this to the wall.
Is there room for it?
Oh, there's always room for more, sir. There's always room for more.
I think it goes under the counter.
Okay. And we'll use it from time to time when we...
Stay green bone meal.
Good old bone meal.
125.0. So you're just putting phosphorus on.
Correct. That's all it is. It's phosphorus. Phosphorus is for roots and fruits. And to get a fruit, we need a flower.
So give us some... Why is it called bone meal?
It would be sourced from...
animals.
Okay. It's going
They take bones and they grind it up.
It's going under the counter.
Yuck. Let's talk about some dwarf varieties.
Dwarf plants. So, what do you think about dwarf plants, Art?
I think that they are small.
But they do still grow.
That's right. So I think they're smaller versions
exactly
of the normal standard.
Exactly. That's exactly
right. Which is
right.
high in demand. Our typical planting area is decreasing in size.
Absolutely, and we don't have a lot of time to go out there and prune all the time to maintain plants in a smaller way. We see them at our farm, and they're just wonderful. But you know, we're a nursery, so they're babies here.
They are babies.
And they grow up and they can get big, but there are dwarf varieties of some of our larger plants. So we'll start over here in the corner with our Dwarf Yaupon holly. So we grow this here, and this is a Dwarf
Yaupon.
Dwarf
Ilex
Yaupon.
vomitoria.
So actually, Yaupon holly is a native plant. It's indigenous to the East Coast, and it gets very large, beautiful red berries on it. Out came Dwarf Yaupon holly. Wonderful plant. Can grow and get large, but it's certainly smaller than the straight species of this plant. So this is a really nice Dwarf Yaupon holly. And then
this is also a really nice Dwarf Yaupon holly. Am I on it?
You are.
No, I'm not.
Here we are.
There we go.
So this is the same plant.
The same exact species.
Same exact plant.
This is a Dwarf Yaupon holly.
And this is
it's really only 2 years older.
That's right.
2 years older than this.
Yes. So
grown in a nursery setting.
Absolutely.
Being fed lots of water and fertilizer.
Yes.
But still, this is the kind of growth that
yes,
you would expect within just a few years.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we're bringing home a dwarf plant and placing it in the landscape, we still have to keep in mind that it does still grow and develop.
Now, if you compared this with regular Yaupon,
that's actually a small tree.
Right.
Very large, growing 20, 25 foot tall, beautiful plant. So it's still way dwarf, but it does still grow. So
it is impossible. How would you keep a Dwarf Yaupon from doing that?
From doing this?
Yes.
It would
have to constrain the roots.
You would, and then we go back to
Bonsai.
Our friend. He said, yes, we would need to call him. You could certainly shear this and keep it cut back for a while, but he wants to grow and get big. So good placement in the landscape is very important. So here's another example. So this is a very small, this is a Dwarf Cryptomeria. There's a lot of wonderful varieties of Cryptomeria in the world, but this is a really sweet, very slow growing variety, and he too will get some size.
Soft.
Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, just want to touch him.
It's true.
I'd like to see this bonsai. Wouldn't that be really lovely? So this is a slow growing variety. He will still get some size to him. 4 to 5 foot tall and wide. Very slow. The rate of growth is really, really slow. So that makes him a wonderful dwarf version of...
Drag it on over here.
Oh boy. There he is. There he is. So, same genus.
Not nearly as cute.
No.
But it's an impressive plant.
Beautiful. Look at those cones on there. So,
gorgeous.
Cryptomeria, Yoshino, Cryptomeria, Globosa Nana. Very dwarf, large and in charge. Beautiful. I mean, this is a statement in the landscape.
So, if you see Nana in the name,
that's a good clue that he's going to be a small guy. It's going to be slower growing, slower than the species. Same genus. Beautiful.
every popular plant, we're seeing dwarf varieties.
We are even in houseplants. So in the houseplant world, we have all very much enjoyed the big fiddly fig for quite a few years, Ficus lyrata. And this is it's a striking houseplant, that large, beautiful foliage, really, really lovely. We don't all have necessarily room in our homes for this guy. This can get quite large in a home. Eventually, 10 foot tall. I don't think I have room for this in my house. For a few years I would, but eventually it would
one you do.
It would outgrow its body. This is the regular.
This one is regular.
Regular.
We'll get 10 feet tall.
And it'll take it a long time. And this is his new little cousin. Isn't that wonderful? This is Little Fiddle.
I love it.
Isn't it great?
Little Fiddle.
Little Fiddle. So everything
That's
about
brilliant.
him, isn't that great? Everything about him is it's our fiddly fig that we love.
The leaf morphology is identical.
Everything in just a smaller, more condensed package. Slower growing, tighter habits, smaller leaves. Isn't it great? Oh, there you go. Of course. Oh, that's a nice looking root
Gorgeous.
system. Looks good. Your propagation team has been
They're not
taking care
dwarf.
of this. So
Oh, really?
they do a good job. They do a wonderful job.
This is really cool.
Isn't that fun?
I'm digging that.
So this guy will only grow about
Was it hard
4
to
foot
find?
tall. No, it was very easy to find. Very easy to find, but 4 foot tall, manageable. Larger place in the home, also awesome. Isn't that fun?
How many do you have?
This is it so far. Might be going home with me today. Isn't that wonderful though? I love it. So dwarf plants exist, they're out there, and there's so many amazing varieties of dwarf plants. It's a big deal in the landscape nursery world. It's
Truly
a really big deal.
You see it with hydrangea, roses.
Butterfly bush,
Yes.
boxwood, it just,
So it's most prevalent in the shrubs.
it is.
Trees are important. There are some dwarf trees.
Absolutely. Magnolia grandiflora, and then several years ago, Little Jim magnolia.
Okay.
Still gets a good size. Little Jim, 25, 30 foot tall, which sounds pretty big for a dwarf plant, but it's certainly way smaller than those species
Correct.
is. Crepe
And
myrtle.
now there's some with perennials.
Yes. Yes.
We looked at a couple weeks ago the echinacea.
Yes.
Extremely more compact.
Absolutely.
than new
Absolutely.
genetics.
More clean, concise look in the landscape. Very nice. Without having to be, pruned and cut all the time.
Right.
So really nice. It's awesome. And I like that natural look. I don't like, as you've seen, cutting and pruning plants. In my world, if you have to prune a plant once, it's probably too big. Take it out. Let's try something else that won't grow so big. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.